Hi, everybody. I'm Jack O'Malley, and it is a Monday, and I must apologize. Operator error on Friday. I recorded an update and thought I had it loaded, thought I sent it, but I didn't. And long story short, without going into great detail, I screwed up. So I apologize. We've had some very kind letters come into the office, and I've gotten some comments on Facebook, your messages saying, "Where were you? We missed you." So my apologies. So I'm going to touch base real quick on a lot of things, some of this from last week. But Mondays are always kind of an iffy day anyway. Wednesday, I think we're going to have a special treat for you on Wednesday. I'll tell you about in a minute. All right, just running through here in no particular order. I've just got my notes scribbled here from Friday and some things from today too. Interesting. Ohio and Louisiana, states are going to try and intervene in the federal court case over Line 5. Why? These two states say the court should be aware of the economic impact that shutting down Line 5 would have on their states. So Line 5 is not just a Michigan thing. It is Ohio, I know, has refineries that produce the jet fuel that comes back to Metro Airport and so on and so forth. I know there are people out there who think Line 5 should get shut down immediately. I will just say in passing, again, to keep moving, I think Line 5 is fine where it is right now. I think the tunnel is a great alternative. Get eyeballs on it, plus other utility lines and things can run through there. So just interesting how when this all started, Line 5 had nothing to do with the United States. That oil went right to Canada. Well, that's not the case. It does come here to the United States, Michigan, Ohio, Louisiana, and other places. So just an FYI. Let's see here. Last week we talked about the Attorney General passing on investigation of nursing homes, which they got this one comment from somebody on Facebook that says, "Why are no Republicans going after the governor on the nursing home deaths? The news reporter, it's being left up to him." Well, I've talked about this on several occasions. There are things that we can do and there are things we can't do. And some things are in the private sector in the sense of lawsuits and that sort of thing. So I applaud Charlie LaDuff, the news reporter, and the Mackinac Center for filing a lawsuit specifically on looking at the nursing home deaths. Again, why aren't we doing something? There are certain things we can do and certain things we can't do as a legislature on all topics. And I understand the passion and the emotion, but sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to legally, right? Because the legislature might not have standing. We aren't allowed to file a lawsuit, and whatever the case may be. So I just throw that out there when you see or hear something and you say, well, why aren't you doing something? The reason is legally we can't. But with that said, I know that, let me make sure I get this right. I think it's Senator Runstead is suggesting a special prosecutor. I don't personally know the legalities or how the House and the Senate could go about doing that, but I understand they are discussing it to find out because it's not something that a state normally does, okay? So what are you doing about it? Let me just say that there is look at what can we do by way of a special prosecutor now that the Attorney General has said she won't do anything by way of investigation. Let's see here. Other things. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you push back? Well, we are, right? One of the things that we've said is, Governor, you won't talk to us. So we're going to not necessarily just come to you with the budget and say, here, what do you want us to do? Where do you want us to spend this money? It's our job to appropriate. And that's what we're doing. And the governor and her people are saying, well, you have to come and speak bipartisanly to us, and you need to come and negotiate with us because that's the way it's supposed to be. And we're saying, we agree with you. How about you talk to us about things COVID related, et cetera, et cetera. But we get nowhere with that, right? So we push back. So the Senate, Democratic senators have the opportunity when a bill gets passed to put it into immediate effect. Well, in the House, it's a little bit more of a just kind of a simple thing to do. But in the Senate, if enough Democrat senators don't vote, it doesn't become immediate effect. Point being is The Democrats are threatening now in the Senate to any spending bills that they don't like, they won't give immediate effect to, which would push them back basically to not take effect until early next year. So when you push back on one area, the other side can push back. So I don't know if that all makes sense, but I just want you to know that we are pushing back. But now the Democrats are siding with the governor and causing a little dust up themselves. So that's how it goes. I just want you to be aware. Hopefully that made sense to you. Let's see here. Oh, late last week, the governor and Director Gordon both said, well, we won't hold each other to the gag order, right? The non-disclose, which is great. So the chairman of the oversight committee basically said, great, come talk to us. And Director Gordon said, nah, he answered some questions by way of letter, which I haven't seen the letter, but I understand it's pretty weak. So, Chair Johnson is now put a effort together to grant subpoena power to get Director Gordon in before our committee. So I'll let you know how that goes. Last week, in the effort to be transparent, the House of Representatives passed out FOIA bills, Freedom of Information Act bills, basically, that would put the governor and the legislature into those FOIA categories. If your local zoning board or your local township board can be FOIA'd, why can't the governor? Why can't the legislature? So we've passed those on. They are headed to the Senate, where there might be a little bit of an argument there. Historically, the Senate has balked at any of this sort of stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But the House passed out basically Freedom of Information Act bills for the governor and the legislature. We'll see how it rolls. Let's see here. What else do I want to talk about? Is it the bistro and pizzeria in Holland that the woman was arrested? That's a tough one. They arrested this woman for operating her restaurant and not following the laws. The judge was a little, I don't know, what's the word I want to use, what I read, some of the things that she said. Point being is, it's pretty bad in the United States of America when the government forces businesses to close, forces businesses to, and business owners, small business owners, to shut their doors and go into bankruptcy, and then uses laws to find them. It is despicable, really. And I had somebody text me over the weekend, well, what are you going to do about it, right? That's the question. What are you going to do about it? Realistically, at this moment, anything we try to change the laws, even with the 28-day DHHS rule, or putting a 28-day limit on it, gets vetoed by the governor. So realistically, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Well, probably what we are doing, pushing back, fighting, complaining, letting you know when the governor is doing things, and watching her approval ratings come down. That's a good thing. It's not necessarily what you want us to do about it, but those are things that we're working on. Ultimately, it's going to take probably a Republican governor and a Republican House and legislature to get things done, or some court decision down the road that I'm unaware of at this moment. That's the way it is. I know people get frustrated, but we have a House and a Senate and an executive branch and a judicial branch, and it is supposed to be deliberative and separation of powers. And when one branch steps on those powers, or seizes powers beyond what they were really intended, it's interpretation by a judge or the people at the ballot box. So we'll see how it all plays out. All right, a couple of little things. Tomorrow, you may see on the Facebook page tomorrow, I'm going to hold another virtual town hall for constituents only. It's an opportunity for me to talk directly to my constituents. That's why we ask for you to register. We do our best to make sure that the people that are getting the link to Zoom in are constituents. So please respect that if you are viewing this from another part of the state. Also, I think very important, this week in the House, we are going to be debating these health care bills. There's a whole bunch of them. I've talked about them in past updates. But I think it's going to be Wednesday. I'm going to interview Representative Julie Calley. Julie is spearheading this package of healthcare reform, and she has been for a couple of years now in the House of Representatives. So we're going to do a little interview, and plan is to record it tomorrow, right? Tuesday tomorrow, and will be Wednesday's update. So if that changes, obviously I'll let you know. But I think it's vitally important that you know that we are working hard to help reform the healthcare situation in the state of Michigan, especially when it comes to, among other things, but especially when it comes to prescription drugs. I've learned so much about some of the nefarious things that are going on behind the scenes. Pharmacy benefit managers, PBMs, Google it, because that's something we'll be talking about on Wednesday, I'm sure. So anyway, I'm at 11 minutes now, so I'm going to, again, apologize for Friday. My mistake, my goof. But basically, I touched on a lot of things here tonight, not in great detail, but I'm sure we'll have opportunities in the days and weeks to come. All right. So happy Monday, and welcome to spring, by the way, right? We're hanging in there. Talk to you on Wednesday. Also, my virtual town hall for district folks on Tuesday. All right. Bye-bye.